That seeing the Black Sabbath final show was emotional. It was fun to watch. It was cool to see Lamb of God doing covers. It was cool to see Metallica do A Hole in the Sky. Pantera probably would have done a better job, but again, it was cool to see all these bands paying respect, not just to Ozzy, because a lot of people like it's a respect show just for Ozzy. It's not. It's a respect for those four men who in like 1960s got off their ass and created a genre of music that was heavy, aggressive, and enjoyable to listen to. Because I'll say it and I'll say it again, there's nothing like those four dudes that got on a stage in the 1970s and played the heaviest music. Because if you think about it, you had Jimi Hendrix at the time with Voodoo Child, you had Led Zeppelin doing their thing, you had Deep Purple doing their thing, but what Jimi Hendrix did with Voodoo Child was heavy, right? It was like a precursor to metal music. It was heavy, it had a heavy edge to it, but people say that was technically not metal, which to me, when I listen to it to this day, I always say, well, it has to be metal. It's not bluesy, it's heavy, it's rock oriented, right? When you think of Black Sabbath, you think of Paranoid, and when you think of Ozzy, you do think of songs like No More Tears, and songs like Crazy Train. But one of my favorite songs of all time is Kill a Giant. That's one of the most underrated songs, and to be honest, to this day you can't go wrong with what Ozzy and those four dudes did on that stage. They just went up there and kicked some major ass, and that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what they intended to do, to play music that was heavy and aggressive. And I enjoyed the tribute to Black Sabbath. I think what was there was cool. I think they could have done a little bit more, like bring Judas Priest on and do some other things. But overall, I think the bands that they had was great. You couldn't have had a 3-4 day festival of all these bands paying respect. But the bands that they did have were all genres, from newer acts like Lamb of God all the way back to Metallica, and they all paid respect to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. Without those guys, I don't think we would have metal. We would, I think, with the likes of Jimi Hendrix doing what Jimi Hendrix did, but I don't think it would have as much of an impact as what Black Sabbath did. Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix, you hear Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child, and you can definitely hear the metal elements. But when you hear what Black Sabbath did, it just had like a more crunch, a more heaviness, right? Like more modernized metal. Some people say it's doomy, and some of the stuff is doomy. But again, overall, much respect to Ozzy getting on that stage, and even if he was sitting on that throne, he was up there kicking ass and doing the things that he always loved to do. Play one more show with Zakk Wylde and with Tony Iommi, and again, seeing him up there smiling, enjoying life. Again, he went out on his own shield. That's what every mother should be doing, is going out on top of anything and go out on top, and that's exactly what he did. So again, I respect Ozzy for everything he's ever did.